Thank you. My name is Donna Whitehouse, and I am the Interim Dean of Healthcare Professions. On behalf of Nashville State Community College, I am so pleased to welcome you all here tonight, virtually via our live stream and in person here on our White Bridge Road campus. Tonight is a celebration of hopes and of dreams, and a celebration of tenacity of spirit. These students have demonstrated flexibility, grit, determination, and focus, all needed for a career in healthcare these days, and you made it. Tonight is about the graduates, and tonight is about those who made the journey possible. We, the faculty, staff, and administrators who are on stage tonight, and speaking for the faculty, staff, and administrators who are not able to be here with us, we celebrate the work of the students to get to this place and to this time, and we are grateful to their friends, to their families, and their support systems who created space and time to make sure that these students were successful. Congratulations to you all.
Well, good evening. My name is Shauna Jackson. I have the great honor of serving as the president of Nashville State Community College, and I'm supposed to address the class. And before I do, I would like for the class to stand and thank their supporters that are standing in the room, because we know they did not do this all on their own. Thank you, class. Family and friends and loved ones, you know what they've been through. So class, I just want to tell you, you may be seated, how very proud we are of the work you've done. I want you to think back from a moment, when you first said, I want to be a nurse. And you started thinking about where you might attend. We're so glad you selected Nashville State. Getting those prereqs done, thinking about how you were going to balance work and parenting and taking care of others. It has not been an easy journey. Throw in all the things that happened in 2020 that still linger with us now, and you decided to stick with it. I cannot imagine what all you have gone through, but each of you have your own story. I think when I look at you and I see the different ages, and we have men and women and just all shapes and sizes, you reflect our community. And so I know through your program, because of the awesome faculty and staff that we have, you have learned to give more of yourself than you probably thought you were capable of. You are going to set the world on fire. You're going to change lives. You're going to make a difference. And not just in the work you do, but all these people out here now that are looking at you as role models for what they can become. You are the dreams of others realized. So all I want to do is tell you again how very proud we are of you and all that you've accomplished. Congratulations. And I still need you to come back for commencement in the spring so that I can kind of fist bump you and see you in your robes to tell you congratulations yet again. We know you'll do well. Remember what you've been taught. Remember your heart and why you decided to take this journey, and never give up, because you've proven to yourself you can do anything. Congratulations, graduates.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Patey, and I'm an instructor here in the School of Nursing. I am lucky enough to have these folks for second semester and then again as seniors. So it is always a joy to watch the ability for change. So each semester, I say farewell to our seniors in the nursing program here at Nashville State. It's a humbling experience to be a part of students' pinning ceremony, knowing how difficult and exciting this academic and experiential journey has been. Regardless of the hours upon hours of academic pursuits and clinical applications, life kept moving forward for these very devoted students. With the advent of the pandemic, change was a constant. These changes gave new meaning to the word resilience. Resilience became the rallying cry of each of our students, for without it, they might endure great difficulties in finding success during their pathway to become a registered nurse. Learning through Zoom is not easy when tending to infants and toddlers and children learning by Zoom. Zoom is not easy when you're assisting elderly parents or grandparents. Learning through Zoom is not easy for a lot of individuals who really need face-to-face contact. However, these students discovered resilience in their home life and their academic life and achieved their dream of pursuing an AAS in nursing. I congratulate each one of you. You met your goals, and now you'll start your new journey as a registered nurse. New Jersey. Okay, two students who've demonstrated excellence throughout the nursing program are always recognized at the pinning ceremony. The first award is called the Excellence in Nursing Practice, and it recognizes the student who is graduating with their AAS in nursing and is based on the ANA Code of Ethics for Nurses. Remember test questions on that? The registered nurse in all professional relationships practices with compassion and respect for the inherent dignity, worth, and uniqueness of every individual, unrestricted by considerations of social or economic status, personal attributes, or the nature of health problems. Students in their last semester of the nursing program may receive this award using the following criteria as a guide. The student must have a recommendation from a faculty member. The student demonstrates outstanding leadership and mentorship to Nashville State nursing students. The student possesses nursing leadership qualities, including respect, integrity, and critical thinking. The student has attended Nashville State for either the traditional nursing program or the LPN to RN Bridge program. I am pleased to announce that the Excellence in Nursing Practice Award is presented to Stephanie Paredes. Our second nursing award is the Academic Achievement in Nursing, which recognizes the student who is graduating with their AAS in nursing and is based on the cumulative GPA for nursing courses. None of these courses have been easy. This student has demonstrated exceptional academic success in the classroom by earning the highest GPA in her nursing cohort. Students in their last semester of the nursing program may receive this award using the following criteria as a guide. The student with the highest cumulative GPA in all nursing courses, and the student has attended Nashville State for the traditional nursing program of 39 credit hours. I'm pleased to announce that the Academic Achievement in Nursing Award is presented to Amanda Kopinski.
Good evening. My name is Beth Youngblood, and I am, I think, still the new director. I don't know how long you have to be here before you don't get to be called new anymore. But I started in August and met these lovely people sitting next to me. And as all other nursing students that are graduating in that semester, they looked about just like the rest of them around the country. They were all a little wide-eyed and scared, and I've watched them come to a time tonight where they're calm, cool, and collected, at least until they walk into their NCLEX. And so we want to enjoy this time of celebration before they have to get back to studying and get ready to take that big test. Some of you may not even know why you're here tonight. I'm sure you've been told you were coming to a pinning ceremony, and you may have wondered what that pinning ceremony was all about. I hope that was your question, because I'm going to give you that answer. There will be no quiz, and there will be no audio on the PowerPoint provided later on tonight, so don't even go looking for it. Okay? Tonight, you are going to get the opportunity to be a part of a time-honored tradition, the nursing penning. The nursing pen originated over 1,000 years ago during the 12th century in the Crusades. This was a very violent time, lots of battles going on and lots of soldiers being wounded. And nurses and caregivers were out on the field trying to help the soldiers who were wounded. But at the same time, they didn't need the caregivers to be attacked. So they provided them with what we call the Maltese cross. Now, you're going to have to use Google because I don't have a picture of it. But the Maltese cross was large and placed on the front and the back of those caregivers so that they would be protected as they were serving those people in the battle. And in 1880, Florence Nightingale started her work in nursing, and she carried that Maltese cross on through. She was often called the lady with the lamp. You see, we have a lamp here, okay? And this lamp looks somewhat like the lamp she carried from room to room as she checked on her patients. No electricity in 1880, right? Lamps are all we've got. Hers probably was not an LED bulb, just saying. Okay. But she carried her little lamp, and everyone watched for the lady with the lamp. She provided many of the concepts that help us in nursing today. Many of the foundations of the things that your students studied came from Florence Nightingale. And because of her influence, they started awarding a pin to nurses who had shown exemplary practice, those who were achieving high marks in their classes. Their classes didn't look like y'all's, okay? But they were studying, and for those who had shown an exceptional ability to care for patients, they received a pin. And so, round about 1916, when nursing schools were actually becoming an accredited body, and people were thinking about honoring traditions of people like Florence Nightingale, they realized that maybe it would be nice to give a pin to everyone who completed a nursing program, because there is no nursing program out there that isn't rigorous. So at that point, we started offering pins to all graduates. Many schools still use this time-honored tradition of pinning ceremonies. Not everyone does, but we here at Nashville State think that the pinning ceremony is very important. I will tell you that pinning ceremonies have changed more in the last 3 years than I have seen them in my 30 years in nursing education. They have, during the pandemic, been outdoors, they've been virtual, and even drive-by. Not exactly sure how that worked, but apparently it was a thing, and everybody got a pin. It was so important during a global pandemic that someone got a pin that we found lots of resourceful ways to give that pin to the graduates. The interesting thing you'll also notice about the pin, and I have my pin on tonight, and your pin signifies the school that you graduated from. So I graduated from Belmont College, not Belmont University, but that's how old I am. It was Belmont College, and my pin is blue because those are the Belmont colors. Your student's pin says Nashville State, and it is the teal color that represents our colors here. So when you look at each person's pin, you will see what school they went to and something significant about their school, either some kind of statement or some kind of emblem that lets you know that it belongs to Nashville State. These pins can be worn during professional programs, or they can be worn on a day-to-day basis. It's completely up to your graduate how they want to wear them. But the one thing I can tell you is these graduates sitting right here tonight before you have earned the privilege to be pinned, and they have earned the honor to proudly display it on their coats. Don't let them lose it in the first 24 hours. It's just a sad thing. And if they do lose it, please reach out to us and we know where you can get another one, okay? It is important for you to know where your pen is. I cannot keep up with a ballpoint pen for 15 minutes. And if I don't find mine, I'll probably take yours. I'm sorry, I'll apologize right now for it. Don't mean to, but I can't keep up with that kind of pen. This pen has been on me for 31 No, 33 years now. Okay? That's how important it is to me. I still know where it was, and I didn't even have to turn my house upside down to look for it last night. I'm very proud about that. So, I want you to know, in order for them to be eligible tonight, to get to this point, they had to go through a rigorous selection process in which they were evaluated against peers that we weren't able to accept everyone. They have completed 378 lecture hours. Think of all the naps they missed, right? That was intense hours of lecture, 540 clinical hours in a variety of settings. They have navigated uncharted waters where their program that they began was experiencing the global pandemic. I didn't have to deal with that in school. I thought it was pretty wild that we were dealing with the HIV crisis when I was in school. I thought that was pretty big, that we were having to learn about standard precautions. Not them. They learned how to put on a hazmat suit to do care. They endured Zoom lectures, masked in-person lectures. They came back. We made them stay away from each other. Do you know how hard that is? Especially if they like each other. And then we tried to return to somewhat of a normal classroom and ask everybody to sit still and act right when they've been watching their classes in their pajamas. So I was really proud when they showed up and had clothes on, right? I mean, low expectations, right? They've experienced a lot of changes. They've experienced changes in some of their faculty and their administration, and they have welcomed those of us who have come to be with them, and we appreciate that. I especially, but other faculty appreciate that. Thank you for letting us be a part of your program. They have watched patients do something that no other students did before the pandemic. They have watched patients die alone because of COVID. The fact that they're still sitting here is amazing because they did this in a time where seasoned nurses were quitting their jobs because it was so hard. So I don't want to be morbid tonight. I just want you to know how dedicated they are, that they continued with what they're doing. They have cared for not only some of the sickest patients, but also for you in your time of need when you were sick, for their own family members, their children, their spouses, their parents, their grandparents. They've been by their side. They may have had some flashcards in their hand while they were by your side, but if you were at the ER or in the ICU, we told them to come be with you, okay? We just told them to take their books with them. Just saying. This is the right thing to do. They kept going, though, no matter what. They've also taken a total of 80 tests. They feel it. I can tell it in their face. They remember the 80th one really well, I have a feeling, that they took was that last week? Wow, that seems like months ago now. And they have written countless care plans and participated in numerous group projects. These people sitting on the stage here with me are tired, okay? They need naps. Don't make them cook your Christmas dinner. It's not nice. Some of them are barely hanging on. I would not be surprised if some of them didn't take a nap and fall out right here before we got out of here. They are exhausted, but on the bright side, they are full of knowledge. They are full of hope and ambition, and they are ready to enter their profession of nursing. 73% of them even already have signed contracts with their job, and the rest of them are just trying to decide where they want to work because they're interviewing. So I'm going to leave you guys with one charge, okay? And that's to go into the profession with pride but not arrogance. We've discussed that already, haven't we? Okay? Be proud of who you are, but be humble at the same time. Be willing to learn. Seek other people around you who are lifelong learners and teach the other people that are coming after you to be lifelong learners. Be willing to precept those new nurses that come after you once you figure out what's going on. Model these behaviors of dedication and college work and professionalism to your family and your children. All right? You'll make our community a better place because of who you are. You have made the faculty and administration here so proud, each and every one of you. These people right here are very proud of you. And we don't want you to go away. Well, yes, we do. We want you to go away because we need you to work. Because if you stay here, that looks bad on us, okay? So you go out and work, and you get a little bit of experience, and then you come back and help us do what we do here. I've told you that already. Some of you will have a heart for teaching. Come back and see us. And some of you, if you don't want to teach, you can come have lunch or snacks with us. We accept donuts and coffee, and we want to know about your journey and what's going on with you. So remember, as you leave here, your faculty, your administration, everybody is proud of you. Remember where you came from and that this is always home, and you can always come back here for hugs and talks about your dreams, okay? Let's start with the pinning presentation. And so we're going to have Ms. Bissinger come up. You know, they're probably clapping too, because usually I don't stop until 3 hours. So you're really lucky tonight. I always try to come to pinning ceremonies hungry. It helps the audience a lot. Okay, so we're going to start and go in alphabetical order. I'm going to call the name of the graduate. And I hate to be so formal, but we need to be formal so that the people that are at home watching you can see you and not just the back of the person pinning you. So there are boxes down here. If Ms. Bissinger moves you around like the people at TSA, just run with it, okay? And we will make sure that everybody is seen for the people out there watching our webcast. Samantha Lee Abrams. Samantha is being pinned by Ms. Emma Green. She's one of our faculty members that has taken a little bit of a reprieve for a moment, but taught this class in fundamentals. Next is Kiona Deshelle Bradley. She is being pinned by Tasha Benton Arian. And next we have Michael Raymond Brunel. He's going to be pinned by Mrs. Melissa Patey. The faculty are always the hardest to educate. Next, we have Monica Lene Buford. She is being pinned by Tabitha Sanders Arian. Next, we have Patsy Ann Connor, also being pinned by Mrs. Melissa Patey. She's hard to put in a box, you know. And Carolyn Forjak had to leave town early, and so she has already received her pin and had a brief little ceremony before she went home to be with some family having some medical issues. So next will be Marianne Haji Gur. Did I say that right? Yay, okay. She will be pinned by her sister, Sophia Gur. And she's an RN. She graduated not too long ago from Austin Peay. Next is Victoria Joy Anna Heimberger. And Victoria's being pinned by Betty Adams, RN. Okay, I think that completes that row. So I'll let y'all sit down and the next row stand up. The next group we have Camille Hot-Calder, and Camille will be pinned by Diane Leonard. Next is Amanda Jo Kaplinski. She'll be pinned by Vicki Bissinger. Next is Farnia Laurent Kono. She will be pinned by Diane Leonard. Next, we have Lauren Lee Marclane. She will be pinned by Rebecca Marclane, MSN RN. Next is Lemon Ismail Omer. And I think y'all know Diane Leonard by now. Our next graduate is Stephanie Yesenia Paredes, being pinned by Vicki Bissinger. Dorothy Lynn Pennington. She is being pinned by Teresa Bush, RN, BSN. Okay, that completes our second row. Let's have our second row sit down and our third row stand up. And we will begin with Chandra Nicole Reese. She'll be pinned by Erwinette Crite, BSN. Another one we can't put in the box. Next is Ashley Michelle Sharp. She will be pinned by Chris Schock, BSN, CCRN, TCRN. The letters keep going. Come on up, Kadzo Tepe. They announced you before I did. He is going to be pinned by his wife, Flora Tepe. Next is Marissa Diane Thomas. She will be pinned by Melissa Patey. Do you know that child? I'm just wondering. Oh, okay, good, yeah. Just making sure. Next, we have Dustin Lee Turner. Dustin is being pinned by Dr. Alex Turner, his wife.
serious?
We have just a momentary issue. Our next person is Blanca Vasquez. Blanca's actually getting pinned by me, and we have a little pin kerfuffle going on. So I'm going to tell you that when someone's really special, you take your pin off yourself and you put it on them. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we have Brooke Elise Young. And she is being pinned by Christy Kendall RN. At this time, I'm going to ask for all the graduates to stand, and Ms. Leonard is going to come up and help with the Nightingale Pledge. If you are a nurse in this audience, it is on the back because no one makes you memorize that in nursing school. However, we probably should. But I think you should stand it and read with us, okay? So all the nurses in the audience, please stand, and Ms. Leonard is going to lead you in this.
You guys ready? I solemnly pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to protect the profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to elevate the standard of my profession and will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and all family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. With loyalty will I endeavor to aid the physician in his work and to devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care.
You all may be seated. I know you've heard enough from me, so I have a couple of brief announcements. One thing I want to do that is not on the program, and this person doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I want to recognize our faculty member who's going to be retiring in January, Mrs. Melissa Patey. Come on up here. Now, the faculty have plans to celebrate her, but would you stand up and give her a round of applause? I would give her my pen, but I already gave it away. Okay, so now we're going to, it's going to be like a wedding, okay? You've been to the wedding where we release the guest and we keep the bride and groom. We're going to keep the students for just a moment for a few pictures, and the rest of you all can have a thunderous applause and rise and go to the art gallery where there will be cupcakes and punch, and your graduates will join you for pictures soon, okay? Thank you all for coming.